Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my absolute favourite products that I've tried within the last 2 months from January and February, but I'm also going to be showing you some of the products that have kind of disappointed me a little bit. Now before we move on, I think it's really important to say when we're doing a video like this that just because something was amazing for me doesn't actually mean that it'll be amazing for you, and just because I didn't like something doesn't mean that you won't love it. Just a little reminder that I do post videos like this every week, and I would love it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. All right, let's get into some faves and fails. So I guess this video is a bunch of mini reviews. Some are brand new products and some old products that I have never tried before. So we're going to kick off with complexion products, and I actually reviewed two brand new foundations recently, one from Makeup Forever and one from Morphe. I didn't know what to expect really with either of these foundations, but let's just have a look at them individually. So the first one, the Makeup Forever. For me, it's a very lightweight, hydrating, glassy skin foundation. As I said in my review, I'm not sure that this would be appropriate for people with oily skin. Now, if you do have oily skin and you tried this, do let me know. But for me, this is a foundation that was made for people with dry or mature skin, for sure. It's definitely giving you that luminous, glowy, glassy, gorgeous, dewy skin. I did a 2-day wear test on this foundation, one where I powdered and one where I didn't. And even when I didn't powder it, it didn't come off, it didn't start to break away or separate. It stayed really nice. I just felt like I looked really shiny. I don't mind that, but it's not for everybody. So I think, bear that in mind, it is super glassy. Now the next foundation was the Morphe. This really took me by surprise. The cheapest of the foundations. They've come out with a foundation that is very fluid. It's very natural, gives a beautiful natural radiance to the skin. They claim a glow from within. I would absolutely agree with that. It does set down, which I quite enjoy. So it doesn't give me the glassiness of the Makeup Forever, but it still gives me that glow. And it's £20, and they actually have a really decent shade range. And I got a free brush with it. So that's a win. Now, people have compared these two foundations and they definitely have similarities. For me, the Morphe is similar to the Makeup Forever, but it is absolutely similar to the Nars Light Reflecting Foundation, which is my all-time favorite foundation. So I'd had a few questions about these foundations. How do they compare to one another? What's the difference between them? So I decided to put the Morphe on one side of my face, and I decided to put the Makeup Forever on the other side, and then also the Nars Reflecting on the other side. And these are the differences in my opinion. So this is my face with absolutely nothing on, just a moisturiser, and we're going to compare the Morphe and the Makeup Forever. So just applying the Morphe first. As you can see, it's really super easy to blend using the Morphe brush that came with it. Super hydrating looking and really natural. And now we have the Makeup Forever. This again blends so well, but I think you can tell that it is just a little bit more shiny, a little bit more luminous as it goes on. But I think when they're on the skin, there's the Makeup Forever. And then the Morphe, I think they are so similar. I would say the major differences would be that the Morphe does give more coverage. You can build up the coverage quite a lot more, and the Makeup Forever definitely stays more glossy and more luminous as the day goes on. Now moving on to the Nars, and after applying these to both sides of my face, I genuinely can say that I feel like the Morphe is a dupe for the Nars Light Reflecting. If I had to say anything, I'd say that the Morphe gives slightly more coverage and is slightly more blurring, but still both beautiful foundations and hard to pick between the two. I don't know if the footage of me applying the half and half is in any way helpful, but just so you can see the absolute similarities in the foundations, and with the Nars, And with the Morphe, I allowed them to dry down, and I just think they're identical. Nobody would be able to tell that I had two different foundations on. And yeah, I'd done pretty well with the shade matches as well, to be fair. So for me, the Morphe is 100% a complete dupe for the Nars. Both beautiful, both naturally radiant, both have that luminosity, both are going to give you a super healthy looking skin. They're both pretty much identical, but what I can tell you without a doubt is that Morphe have absolutely knocked it out of the park with this product. £20 this cost me. This is just short of £40, and the Makeup Forever short of £40. All very, very similar foundations, just that the Makeup Forever stays glassy. These two dry down, but this one is half the price of this one. Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked. I'm as shocked as you. But I also want to say that I think it is actually very hard to make a bad product these days. Honestly, I'm finding myself liking more and more products, and I think it's because companies are really thinking about the ingredients that they're including. They're thinking about what people actually want, and I think it's really, really hard to make a poor product these days. Sticking with the complexion products, I just wanted to give a shout out to this, not a new product, but it's the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. I tried this for the first time in January and blown away. Could not believe this little tube could give me such light, beautiful coverage. It says it's a tinted skin veil, but you can build this coverage up, and I think this cost me about £4, and it's absolutely amazing. I have the Hourglass skin tint, which I do like, and when it comes to summer, I know I'll be using it. But I think if we're talking value for money, you know, are you going to go for the Hourglass or are you going to go for this? For me anyway, I have to use much more to get to a level of coverage that I'm happy with. And I don't like full coverage foundations. You know, medium is tops for me. But you have to use quite a lot of product. The Hourglass, I don't think is going to last me very long. And this won't last me very long either. However, this is a lot cheaper to replace. This is a really good option if you're looking for a skin tinted moisturizer, one that's buildable. This I would absolutely recommend. It's fantastic. Next up, concealers. I have reviewed both of these on my channel. Both absolutely amazing concealers. The Fenty Wear Hydrating Longwear Concealer and the Laura Mercier, the Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Concealer. Love them both. I am definitely a hydrating concealer kind of girl. I have to be. My under eyes will not allow me to use anything that is going to be drying, and these are the opposite of that. Now with the Fenty, I have found myself using it less because the shade just isn't right, and I've had a good look at replacing it and getting a new shade. I'm not sure if I'd say that the shades are very accurate as to how they appear on the website. I don't know what your experience has been, so that does put me off. And you know what, I've got hundreds of concealers, so I'm not in any need to run out and replace it with the correct shade. Now I'm still using it, especially when I need a bit of brightening in the inner corner. This is 225N, but I will be picking up my correct shade. I just need to find out what it is. So I have been finding myself reaching for the Laura Mercier most days. I really love this concealer. The only thing I hate about this concealer is the fragrance, and it is fragrance. And why Laura Mercier does it need to be fragrance? And also find that with a lot of concealers, I don't know what they do with the packaging, but it leaks a little bit, so I find my drawer ends up being a mess. There's a lot of concealers that do that. But the Laura Mercier is absolutely beautiful. You know, you don't get creasing and you do get hydration from these. People will say, oh, it really creased on me, or, you know, it's really drying. Look, products work differently on different people. Just because it works for one doesn't mean it's going to work for another. However, if you're finding a hydrating product like, I don't know, like a foundation or like a concealer, and everyone's saying it's hydrating and it doesn't sit into lines, but it is doing on you, maybe just take a quick look at your skin prep. So make sure that you're using you know, serums or you're using hydrating products underneath the makeup, because going in with a product just on top of a moisturizer probably isn't going to be enough. So think about your skin prep, think about what serums you're using, what prep you're doing for your skin, because, you know, makeup needs a really good base to work well. And I will link my video on skin prep here just so you can refer back to that. And I do think it's really important. So yeah, if you're finding that hydrating products, you know, no matter what the claims are not working for you, just take a look at what you're doing before you're applying the makeup and you might notice a significant improvement. There's my other Laura Mercier concealer. See how it's coming out? That's really annoying. Now I'm going to move on to a mascara now that I've been using, and I've been loving this. This is the new one from L'Oreal, which is the L'Oreal Panorama. First of all, packaging absolutely gorgeous. And this is the brush. I've been testing out a lot of mascaras recently because I am going to be putting out a video where I test, I can't remember how many I've tried, but I've tried a lot of drugstore mascaras and wear tested all of them, and so it's taken me a while to put together. And L'Oreal do mascaras really well, really well, and I have been really enjoying their mascaras. This one has stood out to me recently. So this mascara was £13. First of all, I thought, is this supposed to be a trial size? Because it's kind of small in comparison to other mascaras. So let me show you. So this is the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift Mascara, and this is the Panorama, and it's quite significantly smaller. Being real, mascara is a necessary evil for me. I have rubbish lashes, but I have to wear mascara, but I hate the process of putting it on. So when there's a big long skinny wand, I find myself poking myself in the eye with it, or if it's a big, you know, thick wand, I find myself getting it everywhere. But this wand is just ideal. So it's short in length and the actual wand triangular. It's really unique and I've just found it fantastic. So the thicker part kind of for the outer, you know, part of your lashes, and this bit is great for the inner corner and the lower lashes. I honestly find this mascara very, very user-friendly. I don't have to spend a huge amount of time getting my lashes to a place that I'm happy with. It just gives me a really great amount of volume and length, and as you can see here, the difference with one eye done and without, even on my short lashes, it looks great. I am just really liking this mascara, and it's been one I've been reaching for every day. There's no smudging, no flaking, no transferring, and it's really, really easy to remove too. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this L'Oreal mascara. It's really, really good, really unique. And if you're on the hunt for a new mascara, this would be a definite recommendation. So there have been a couple of lip products that I've been really enjoying, and the first one is a brand new product from Nars, and this is their Powermatte High Intensity Lip Pencils. I have this on today in the shade Dolce Vita. I am loving these matte lip pencils. I think some people can be a little bit put off by matte products, but let me assure you, I've had matte lip products from Nars in the past, and they are super, super comfortable. They are not drying in any way, shape or form. Now, they do claim to be transfer proof, but I haven't found that experience for me anyway. It will start to come off when I start to eat something. So I wouldn't fully agree that it's transfer proof, but if you are looking for a long lasting, beautiful, comfortable lip colour that has high pigment, you cannot go wrong with Nars. Nars do lip products absolutely beautifully. They remind me of MAC really. They're quite iconic when it comes to their lip products. They glide on so beautifully. They are not hard to work with at all. And sometimes when it comes to matte lip products, especially matte lipsticks, they can be a little bit tricky. You know, you have to be really, really careful. You know, they can get everywhere, but these are just such a velvety, smooth formula. And I think they are really beginner friendly if you're looking to dip into mattes, and this pencil will last me for ages. That's what it looks like. It is in need of a bit of a sharpen now. You cannot go wrong with these. Absolutely beautiful from Nars. Another lip product that I've absolutely been loving and reaching for on a regular basis is this one by Catrice. This is the Plump It Up Lip Booster, and I have this in shade Good Vibrations. It's not very pigmented, so it has got a little bit of a pinky kind of tinge, but I am loving this. And now I've not got it on today, but I've got a bit of footage here of me applying it. I sometimes like to apply this before I put on a lipstick because I feel like this does actually plump up my lips slightly. I mean, nothing does a great job. This does plump them up a little bit, and there's no tingling, it doesn't hurt. I don't particularly love the taste of it. It's very, very kind of minty menthol, but my favorite way to use this is over lipstick. It's just gorgeous. It's an amazing little lip plumper, and it's only costs a few pounds. So yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to this one, and I will plan on getting the clear version because I think it's worth every single penny. Now, this product actually came out last December and I did review it on my channel, but what are they called? The Camo liquid blushes. I have been returning quite often to one shade in particular, Dusty Rosé. And honestly, I've been finding myself picking this up more and more. And for £8, these are highly pigmented. They blend really well. I mean, I did try a few other colours. I wasn't overly enamored with the really pink shades, even though I love really, really pink shades. Now, it's just a perfect pink for me. So I think it is described as like a dusty rose, but it does have, for me, on my skin tone, it has a smidge of a hint of coral in there, and it just looks really, really pretty. If you're looking for a dewy blush, these are a really good and affordable option. They're beautiful blushes, they really are. Now, the last thing on my favourites list isn't actually a makeup product, it's a hand cream, but I had to recommend this to you because it's actually changed my life. So this is the Kiehl's Ultimate Strength Hand Salve. I have never really suffered with dry skin until I moved to Canada, and I spent a few years there living in Calgary. And if you don't know anything about Calgary, it's very, very, very cold in the winter. So you can be talking like -30 some days, but you know, you're averaging -10 to -15 during the winter. Now, I found that my hands started to really suffer over there. So I tried everything, and I'd never really suffered with dry hands before then. And I know it's probably an age thing as well. After returning home, so now I'm living in Ireland and I've been here for the last 3 years. In the winter, my hands are atrocious, and I'd got to a point a few weeks ago where I don't know whether I was developing eczema on my hands, like kind of in between my fingers. You name a hand cream, I've tried it, and it felt like I was gonna have these dry, flaky hands forever, and they were actually becoming really, really painful, and nothing would get rid of it. And I even went to the pharmacy and I asked them, and I was on the verge of going to see the doctors. However, my husband went into Kiehl's and they recommended this to him. Oh my gosh, I have no dryness on my hands. After, I'd say, 2 days of use, this had sorted out all of my dryness. I can't recommend it enough. Oh my goodness. And obviously, this is not sponsored, absolutely not sponsored in any way, shape or form. This is an outstanding product. If you suffer with dry hands, dryness, you need to try this. It's absolutely brilliant. And do you know, yeah, it's probably more on the pricey side. I don't know how much it was, probably 20 something, I think, for this. It's a massive tube. You get 150 ml, and I'm only having to use this once a day. This once a day has taken my dryness away. Absolute godsend. Kiehl's, thank you so much. You've cured my dry hands. And if you are looking for an amazing hand cream, try this. You will not regret it. It's amazing. Okay, now we're moving on to my fails. Now, I just want to say that this is nothing against any of the brands that I'm talking about. These brands are fantastic brands. I wouldn't have bought their products if I didn't think they were any good. And with this first one, there is nothing wrong with the actual product itself. The product is high quality. It's a beautiful formula. but I have issues. It's the newest palette from Nars, which is the Afterglow Irresistible Palette. Now, as far as I know, this still isn't available in the UK or Ireland. Very annoying. But I got this from Canada. It's kind of me in a palette, you know? Super warm, good few pinks, good few reds, reddy browns. It's Nars, isn't it? And there was just something calling out to me about this palette, all right? I wanted it, I had to have it. So they say that this is a mixture of mattes, soft shimmers and sparkles. You know I love a shimmer. You know I love a shimmer. And when I saw these shimmers, I didn't actually realise how pink they were. Every single shade in this pan leans pink, apart from these two. They either lean pink or they lean red, and I didn't realise. So that's, you know, my fault. You know, I should have looked into the colours a little bit more. But this palette was 80 Canadian dollars. That means it's 60 US dollars, or it will be 60 pounds sterling if it comes over here. And if I'm paying $60, if I'm paying £60 for a product, I expect some level of versatility. And no matter how many looks I've done with this palette, they've all come out looking the same. And I get that this is Nars's colour story. I understand that. So if you're looking for a palette that you can mix up and create different looks from every day of the week, you're not really going to get it from this palette, unfortunately. And another issue that I have with this is that the sparkly shades, they're just not sparkly. And I've even tried wetting them with setting spray and the intensity doesn't change, to be honest. If you are looking for high quality, super soft eyeshadows, you're going to get it from Nars. You're never going to have an issue with their quality. It's amazing. My issue is with the versatility of the palette and the intensity of the shimmers. It's just not there for me. Am I going to use this palette? Yeah, I've used this most days since I've got it. It's a really easy everyday palette, and you know, some of the colours, even the mattes and the soft shimmers, they're actually really easy one and done shadows. So I think, you know, in terms of that, getting your money's worth, if you want something that's really easy to use, you can just whack any of these shades all over the lid and, you know, that's you set for the day, you know, perfect. This is pretty much the same price as the Natasha Denona palette. You're just not getting the versatility that you would expect for that price, but it's limited edition. It's the normal Nars colour story, but for me, if I was to give you any advice, pick up any other Nars palette that they've got. I've seen some on sale in Space NK for like 30 quid. Get one of those, it's going to be the same thing. It really is the same thing. But if you love Nars and you love collecting their palettes, then it is gorgeous. And look at the packaging. I mean, yeah, it shows up every single little bit of dirt, but if you can see past that, I could not put my hand on my heart and recommend this to you and say this is worth your money. I think it's a beautiful palette, beautiful formulas, but in my opinion, it's just not worth the money. Sorry, Nars. And my second fail is a brand new product, and it is from Benefit. Now, this is their brand new Precisely My Brow Detailer. This is the microfine version of their original My Precisely Brow Pencil. So here is the new one. And then obviously the thicker one is the old one. When they released this a few weeks ago, I thought all of my dreams had come true, because this is a dream for me, you know, super fine hair strokes. Oh, completely perfect. Can you see? They give you perfect fine hair strokes. You're probably thinking, well, what's your problem then? What's wrong with it? I have lots of micro fine eyebrow pencils because I have no eyebrows, so I have to fake the brows. The first time I used it, it snapped. Okay, fine. Right, maybe just a little teething problem. It snapped. I didn't put any pressure on, but it snapped straight away. When I went to use it the next day, this pencil will not push out and it will not retract. That's how much product I've got for £23, that little tip there. What the heck? Luckily, I bought this from ASOS because ASOS are really, really good at helping you out when you've got a faulty product. So they are sending me a new one, so I will test that. But I did go on and have a look at some of the reviews, the early reviews, because this is a brand new product. And loads of people are saying the exact same thing. Pencil broke straight away. It won't dispense product. It won't retract. So I don't know what's going on here with Benefit, because, you know, we all know and love their eyebrow products. We love their eyebrow pencils. I don't know what the crack is, whether I've done something wrong, but not just me. There's other people out there that are struggling with this product. So yeah, if it look, it just broke off.
Just broke off again.
Now I've got no product. Yeah, not great. So just be wary. If you do buy this eyebrow pencil, which, you know, should be incredible, if you do buy it, keep your receipt and have it ready if you need to exchange it or get your money back. And my last fail is another one from Nars. I'm not picking on Nars, I promise. I love Nars. I'm planning on doing a full face of Nars soon. I love their products, but I purchased this. Now, it's not a new product. It is their Nars Climax mascara. I have this in explicit black. And I've had this in and out of my shopping basket for months. And every time I go to buy it, then I read another review, and the reviews are so mixed on this. This product is not worth the money. I'm really, really sorry. It's such a basic mascara. It's a big, huge, chunky, dense wand like this. There's nothing wrong with a big, chunky, dense wand. I have lots of mascaras that I use that have the same kind of wand. This does nothing for me. Now, obviously, I don't have the best lashes in the world, but for £27, I would expect you to give me a little something, but I find that I really have to work hard to get any kind of result with this mascara, unfortunately. It doesn't cling on to your lashes. I feel like it doesn't give me length. It gives me a little tiny bit of volume. I think if you had really super long lashes and you were just looking for volume, I think you might like this. But for me, who has, you know, quite sparse lashes, who needs all the help that I can get. I've been trying mascaras that are under £10 that are 10 times better than this. So very disappointing. I think you would be better putting your money into 2 drugstore mascaras that will do a much better job, and it's not the best, and you could be better spending your money elsewhere on something much cheaper. Honestly. Yeah, that's the end of my faves and fails for January and February. Again, please don't be offended if I didn't like a product that you absolutely love. It really is so subjective. Makeup is such a personal thing, and I'd just be really interested to hear what have been your faves and fails so far this year. Is there any product that stands out above the rest? Is there anything that you've tried that you've been really disappointed with? Do let me know in the comments, because I would love to hear from you. Thanks again for joining me for another video. I so appreciate you being here with me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next one. But until then, take care and bye for now.